Thanks for clicking on State of the City. This is the State of the City at Home edition. Today is April 22nd. It's just a beautiful day outside. I happen to be home. I was in the office for a while and had a bunch of different meetings. And so I thought I'd just stop by here to do one really quick so we could get it out. My goal is, really a couple goals, one of which is to talk about the workshop from just last Monday night. And there were three major agenda items there that I want to cover. And then some tidbits, some this and that, that I hope will be useful to you as you live in St. Peter. So first of all, at the workshop, the finance department, Sally Vogel, did a presentation. On a regular basis, department heads come in and do a presentation about things that are going on in their department. So Sally talked about her staff and credit card use and talked about utility billings and a bunch of different things that go on within the finance department. And so it's really handy for the council to know and see that. You know, normally when we do these, we do a tour. But since this meeting, the workshop meeting was a virtual meeting, we couldn't really do a tour very well. So Sally talked about her department, did a really nice job with that. So if you want to see more about that, please go to our YouTube channel. Really close to this video if you're on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see that workshop, kind of like we lovingly now refer to as in the Brady Bunch setting, where everybody's in their blocks on GoToMeeting. Second of all, we reviewed a job description. This is for the library supervisor, or what we used to call a number of years ago, the lead librarian. And so we had a retirement in that position, so as is our custom and our practice, anytime we have a change in personnel within job descriptions, we make time to provide for a review of that job description. And so we have a few little tweaks that we're going to make to that job description to get up to date, and a few other things relative to organizational structure. And so that job description will go back to the city council, on Monday night. And so job descriptions must be approved by the city council. So Joey Schugel, recreation director and leisure services and library guy, was with the city council in his little Brady Bunch tile, talking about this job description and the modifications that we're going to make to that. The last big thing that we talked about is more of a policy issue, not kind of a practical inner workings of the city issue, but more of a policy issue. And so this was about naming of parks. So currently the city doesn't have really one process for how parks are named. Over the last 20 plus years, we've used 2 or 3 different kind of ways to name a park, all the way from adopting a name from a gift that someone might have provided, to contests to name parks. And so the council talked about this, and kind of what the genesis of this really related to naming of the new dog park that is located at the corner of St. Julian and Swift. Now that dog park isn't quite ready for use yet, but it will be very soon. But most of our parks have names. There's not a rule that says a park even has to have a name. It could just be a location, as an example. But most of the time, parks are named. And so that's the genesis for this discussion. And how should parks be named? Who has a say in that? How does that work? And so the council talked about this quite a little while and brought up some really great points about how does it work? How should it work? Who should be involved? Are we selling naming rights for parks, yes or no? And those kind of things. So the direction was for Public Works Director Moulton and I to get together to really draft some guidelines that could then run through the Parks Board and ultimately then be reviewed and hopefully approved by the City Council. That provides for a much more defined process for how parks are named and who's involved. Now, this might require a small tweak or two to the city code, but really our goal is to have a policy about how this, and then if tweaks are needed to the code or the city ordinances, we'll do that along the way as well. So anyway, a great discussion was had by the city council on those 3 issues. So let me go quick to kind of tidbits. So first of all, I want to mention, I'll show this. This is our plan for COVID response. And so we're doing just a bunch of stuff about COVID. So if you want to know more about that and what we're doing, who we're partnering with, who we're cooperating with, what services we're additionally providing, like Transit is doing Meals on Wheels delivery, which is super cool. The library isn't fully open, but you can put books on hold and pick them up at the window. So that's really great. It's amazing how many people are utilizing that service. So a bunch of different things. But if you want to know more, give me a call or certainly check out our council meetings or other website information. The next one that I want to mention is recycling in St. Peter. Recycling is still ongoing, even with COVID-19. Recycling is still ongoing, but I got to mention, so use your Kirby's, but there are some drop sites up at the county shop off Sunrise and then at the corner of Swift and St. Julian, where our compost facility is. So here's the scoop. People are abusing those sites. They're dumping stuff that isn't recyclable there. They're not crushing their boxes. They're leaving stuff on the ground. And don't do that. That makes that material not able to be recycled. And if you're dropping off like a mattress or a refrigerator, don't do that anymore. That costs all of us money, and that's not how this is supposed to work. So please don't do that anymore. And if you see people doing it, give us a call so that we can, frankly, make them pay for the additional expense that you and I and everyone else in town are still bearing. So recycling overall, though, is going really well. And so if you have questions about recycling, there's great information on our website. Here's a little sample of that. One thing that I will mention as we're out and about cleaning streets and doing things is that whether it's your garbage curbie or your recycling curbie, don't put them out on the street. Keep them on the curb, on your grass or on the sidewalk there. Don't put them out in the street because, well, they're not supposed to be there, and that means we got to go around it, and so do other pieces of equipment. So watch for that. And remember, cardboard, paper, don't throw plastic bags in there. And if you're recycling water bottles, the cap's got to be on the bottle for the cap to get recycled. Otherwise, it's not going to get recycled. So a couple tips for you on recycling and how that works. I also want to mention residential rebates. We were just up at Gustavus a few days ago and presented them with a very large rebate check for a lot of the lighting changes they've made and enhancements that they've made and things that they've done in relation to Nobel Hall. So there are great residential rebates as well. So here's some information. You should have received this in your mailbox. Here's the one that I got in my mail. And so great information here and on our website. I'm going to open this up quick. Make sure you're checking for Energy Star. That's the thing that gets you money back from us. And then here, if you want to know more, if you kind of threw this away or no longer have it, Save Energy in stpeter.com. Save Energy in stpeter.com has all the great information about residential rebates. Light bulbs, heat pumps, air conditioners, dishwashers, clothes dryers, long list, longer than that. So there you go. You can see a lot of information. We really want to give you those rebates for the savings that you are providing to all of us as ratepayers within our community. Next one I want to mention is census. I've shown this slide before. We've written about census quite a little bit. Census is still ongoing. We are, I don't think, quite at 70% respondents have participated in census. So that means about a little bit less than 70% of the households have sent their stuff back. So if you're one of that 30 or so percent, please send it in. We got to beat North Mankato. We got to beat Mankato in our percentages. And census makes a difference. For every person that does not get counted, we lose out on $15,000 over the next decade. We being city, school district, county, Minnesota Valley Action Council, all kinds of folks lose out on money. So that $15,000 can make a difference for lots of things. So we really encourage you to participate in census. I filled mine out a while back. Took less than 10 minutes to do it. So it's easy. There's an envelope, or you can go online and do it too. So I'll try and remember to put the link underneath here for that information, as well as the recycling information that I promised. So I'm going to wrap it up. Here we go. Here's how you can contact us. There's an email. There's our website. There's our Facebook page. We'd love it if you'd like us. Give us a call. Hey, we're tweeting. There's our handle. Check us out on that. Or go to our YouTube channel. Now on that YouTube channel, we not only have video blogs like this, but we have city council meetings, we have school board meetings, we have county commissioner meetings. So it's a great place to see some of the things that your government's doing and what those boards and decision makers are meeting. So great opportunity to see what's going on there. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for participating, watching this home edition of State of the City. Hope to see you again next time.